everybody. We have some Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my husband I don't want dinner on the table as soon as I walk in? Listen, I know this may sound crazy and I should be so entirely grateful that he even cooks, but he's gone so far as to make my plate and have it on the table when I walk in the door. I work 10-hour days, bring my lunch and pack snacks so I have healthy options and save money. I have a 45-minute commute and work in a professional setting. I wear heels, a blazer most days, and dress nicely. I like to come home, use the bathroom because of the long drive, and change/decompress before we sit down as a family. He finds that it's rude to not sit at the table immediately and eat, blaming that the kids are hungry. I told him that I'd like to wait a little after getting home and then we could sit down and eat as a family. That part is important to us both. Also, if he has dinner on the table at X time and I say traffic, stopping for gas, or anything delays me, he gets mad and makes it seem like I inconvenience the entire family. So after telling him I don't like the food on the table immediately, he blew up and said he just won't cook anymore. That wasn't what I was saying, as I am grateful he cooks and all, but is it too much to ask that we wait 30 minutes or so after I am home to sit and eat? Honestly, no, I don't think so. I think anybody that works long hours and everything like that wants to come home and relax, change, decompress, whatever, that people do. I mean, it is nice to come home to a cooked meal, but I don't think you're the a-hole. I think that he should at least have it started by the time you're on your way home. So then by the time you're home, you decompress, you change, dinner will be ready, and then sit down and eat. I think that would be much better. So you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my sister to my wedding? Hi everyone, this is my first post. Please bear with me. I, female 22, plan on not inviting my female 20 sister to my wedding. I recently got engaged over the Christmas break and have been briefly planning my wedding. However, I don't plan on inviting my sister. My sister has constantly bullied me and tormented me for years on end, and I finally had enough. I recently did an 8-hour car ride one way to go to her college graduation, and the first thing she said to me is, "Wow, you've gained weight." I have lost weight since the last time she saw me a few years ago and can't really control my weight due to medical conditions. Here's the kicker. My mom told me that she will not be attending my wedding unless my sister is invited. I love my mom dearly, but it is super unfair to me, as I believe this is my day, and I do not want to surround myself with toxic people. My mom then proceeded to give me attitude about inviting my great aunt, but not her mother, in which I'm not related to. I am not a confrontational person whatsoever, and I've never really put my foot down to my mom. Am I in the wrong for sending her this message? I want my family to be there, but I'm considering not inviting them all. P.S. My mom asked how much my wedding would be and said it's too expensive and that it would probably end in divorce anyways. I feel very insulted, and I am truly considering not inviting her. Wow, your own mother? Anyways, here's a text message she sent me, out of the blue, may I add. And Darlene, great aunt, is the great aunt. Not going to be impressed if her mother isn't invited either, so unless you don't want any of your family there at all, you might want to think twice about your decision. And here's my response. Hey, so at this point in time, I will formally invite Darlene, great aunt, Ingrid, great aunt's mom, Deacon, great aunt's son, and his girlfriend. However, I will not invite Emily, F20's sister. I understand that you want us to get along, but at the end of the day, it is my and Caleb's wedding, and what we say goes. If you don't want to go because Emily is not invited, I understand that. However, this is a milestone in my life, and I don't want you to miss it. I've tried being there for Emily. I've traveled 9 hours to her graduation, and she wasn't grateful in the slightest, and she was being a bully. I've put up with her bullying and torment for 18 years, and I've truly had enough of it. I truly don't want to be around her negative behavior and her bullying on my day. If you choose to come, that would be very lovely. If you choose to stay home, just know you missed out on your loving daughter's wedding. You know I wouldn't just do this unless it's bothering me. I'm not a confrontational person, but I really don't want her there, and nothing can change that. Caleb's family supports me no matter what choice you make. Am I in the wrong for not wanting to invite her and just not inviting my whole family? I don't think you're the a-hole for that. I mean, if you're right, it is your day. It's your day, and it needs to be happy and positive instead of being around negative people. And your mom should be understanding. But for your mom to say that this might just end up in divorce, like, that right there shows that she has no respect for you or your relationship. And frankly, I wouldn't invite any of your family. Am I the a-hole for no longer including my mom in wedding planning activities? I'm 32 female, my mom's first of 3 daughters with one older bro. I've always suspected she favored my other 3 siblings growing up, and historically she has done a good job at making me feel bad and unimportant. Even with that, I still want her attention. So when my fiance and I got engaged August 22 and decided on a June 24 wedding, I was excited to share the wedding planning experience with my mom. I'm the first of her children to be married. Initially, it was great, and I finally felt special to my mom. She'd answer my calls, actually sit and talk to me when I came over, invite me to hang out, etc. I'd hear things straight from her instead of hearing things secondhand from my siblings. Plus, having her help with the wedding planning was really nice and took a lot of pressure off me and my fiance. My parents even offered to pay for the bulk of our wedding. Around the time my fiance and I got engaged, my sister, 28 female, started dating her first boyfriend. This last Christmas they got engaged. Since then, things have totally flipped. My mom is hard to get a hold of, and when I do, she is short or tells me she has to go because she is busy. It doesn't matter if it's wedding related or not. It definitely hurts each time I think of her, go to text her, and see a bunch of my texts without replies. She has also been reminding me in every wedding conversation that her and my dad don't have money. She recently changed the location of my bridal shower because the first place we picked is now too expensive. I felt pretty guilty about money, so I started paying for things myself, things my parents agreed to pay when we made our budget. But I just learned that in the 5 weeks my sister has been engaged, my parents have spent over $13K on her wedding, which isn't for another year and a half. Oh my gosh, bestie, I'm so sorry. My wedding dress came in and I asked my mom if she was free to pick it up with me. She said she was busy this week. Lo and behold, I learned from my sister that they are going to a bridal expo this weekend. No, I wasn't invited. All this shouldn't be a surprise because the patterns are no different than when I was a kid, so I'm continuing to wedding plan without her. I made appointments to get my dress and do alternations without her and go to the flower mart with the florist. Both things she said she wanted to do with me. I did ask 3 times this week when she was free, and she never replied. I told my fiance I wasn't going to include her anymore. I know there's a part of this that is petty, but emotionally it makes me feel bad and unimportant, and practically I can't wait around while she prioritizes other people, especially with our wedding is so close. He says I'm being an a-hole, but in nicer words, and if my mom knew I was making plans/decisions without her, she'd agree. But am I? Edit, my fiance doesn't think I'm being a complete a-hole. He more doesn't think it's worth it to not include her in such a big life event just because she's busy. And thinks I'm being too harsh. Honestly, I mean, that's pretty messed up for your mom to, like, be like that towards you as a kid growing up. And it's sad that, you're still holding out that hope and she just keeps, like, letting you down. Like, for that, I'm really sorry. But I don't think you're being harsh, and I don't think you're being the a-hole at all. I think that you are better with leaving her out of this, honestly. But I'm sorry. Anyways, those are some stories of Am I the A-hole? If you guys like it, please subscribe.